Welcome to Lesson 2. Today, we'll explore how to search for human-generated content versus encountering AI-generated content. We'll look at key differences between the two, how to differentiate AI-generated content from human-generated content, and how to evaluate the credibility of the information you find, especially in academic settings. Let's get started. Let's begin by comparing traditional search engines with AI-generated content. For example, when you use a search engine like Google Scholar or an academic database to research how online classes affect GPA, it pulls pre-existing human-created content such as journal articles, books, or research papers. This content typically comes from reliable sources like peer-reviewed journals or reputable academic institutions, making it more trustworthy. These sources undergo rigorous fact-checking and editorial processes, ensuring the information is accurate and unbiased. On the other hand, AI-generated content is created in real time by algorithms trained on vast datasets. While it can produce fabricated contents, it doesn't always verify facts or check for accuracy. For instance, an AI might generate a well-written article about online classes lowering GPA, but it might not cite any credible studies or peer-reviewed research to support that claim. That's why AI-generated content, although it may appear professional, could be inaccurate or based on biased, incomplete data, whereas human-generated content is generally more reliable. While AI algorithms are incredibly powerful, they come with significant downsides. First, AI doesn't fact-check. It might generate content that looks authoritative, but it could be based on outdated, inaccurate, or biased data. For example, an AI-generated article about online classes lowering GPA might mistakenly use data from before the pandemic, which doesn't reflect how modern online learning environments have evolved. Second, AI can reinforce existing biases. If the data it was trained on is biased, the content it generates will reflect those biases. For instance, if the AI's training data focused on negative studies about online education, it might skew its results to emphasize the downsides of online classes, ignoring more recent studies that show how effective online learning can be for improving GPA. Third, AI doesn't truly understand the content it produces. It simply detects patterns in data, which can lead to misleading or incorrect information. For example, AI might generate content about online classes affecting GPA simply by copying common phrases it has seen, like online classes are less engaging, even if that's not supported by the latest research. Finally, AI-driven platforms can create echo chambers by showing users content that reinforces their existing beliefs, thus creating confirmation bias. This is dangerous in academic research because AI might prioritize content that aligns with pre-existing biases about online classes, rather than presenting a balanced view.
Reflective time.
Are you aware of these potential downsides in AI-generated contents? How did you identify and evaluate AI-generated contents?
Now, how can you tell if the content you're reading is AI-generated or human-generated? Let's go over some clues, using our research on how online classes affect GPA as an example. First, look for repetitive language or ideas. AI-generated content often repeats phrases or concepts because it lacks true understanding. The lack of true understanding is also reflected in the existence of contextual mismatching contents. For example, an AI-generated article on online classes and GPA might continuously repeat basic ideas like online classes are less effective, without offering deeper insights or evidence. Second, check for lack of originality. AI-generated content often feels generic and lacks the depth or unique insights you'd find in human-written pieces. For instance, a human author might explore various factors affecting GPA, such as study habits, student engagement, and online course design, while AI content may just polish these factors without adding new perspectives. Third, look for unnatural logical flow. AI content can feel disjointed or awkward in how it transitions between ideas. For example, in an AI-generated article, it might jump from discussing the benefits of online learning to technical challenges without any smooth transition, making the content harder to follow. Finally, always check the citations. AI-generated content might include fake or fabricated sources, or it may lack citations altogether. For academic research, this is a major red flag. For instance, an AI-generated article might claim that 80% of students report lower GPAs in online classes, but without any references. This should make you skeptical. So, what do you do when you encounter AI-generated content? Let's walk through how to evaluate its credibility, using academic research on online classes and GPA as our example. First, always cross-check with reliable sources. Even if AI-generated content appears polished, you should verify its claims against trusted sources, like peer-reviewed journals or government reports. For example, if an AI-generated article claims that online classes lead to a 20% decrease in GPA, you should verify this with studies published by reputable academic institutions. In addition to cross-checking claims, you should also practice logical deduction, contextual analysis, and critical thinking on the AI output for deeper thoughts. Second, look for evidence and citations. If the AI-generated content doesn't provide any reliable sources, be skeptical. For academic purposes, a well-cited article is crucial to ensure the information is accurate. An article on online classes and GPA without any references to studies or surveys should raise red flags. Third, check for bias. AI-generated content might present a one-sided view, especially if it's based on biased training data. For example, an AI-generated article might only focus on the challenges of online learning, without mentioning any benefits, such as how online classes can improve flexibility and time management. Finally, use fact-checking tools like Snopes, factcheck.org, or Google Fact Check to verify any claims made in AI-generated content. These tools will help cross-reference the information with verified facts. For example, if an AI-generated article claims that 90% of students prefer in-person classes, you can use these tools to see if that statistic holds up.
Reflective time.
Have you tried the above practices to evaluate AI-generated contents?
Today, we explored the differences between searching for human-generated data and encountering AI-generated content. We discussed the downsides of AI algorithms, how to differentiate human content from AI content, and how to evaluate the credibility of AI-generated information using our ongoing example of researching the effects of online classes on GPA. Remember, whether the content is human-generated or AI-generated, it's important to evaluate its reliability before you trust or use it, especially for academic research. Thanks for watching, and happy searching! For additional resources and information, please visit the Digital Competence Education platform.